Hi Chemistry Gang, my name is Lori Mills and I'm the course designer for this Chem 1047 course. I also teach Chem 1047, but I may not necessarily be your instructor this term, and I'm sharing this video with all the Chem 1047 instructors in case they want to post it in their courses. So in this video, what I'd like to do is introduce the Unit 1 Stoichiometry unit and give you some tips on how to navigate through the unit and where to start and some study strategies. Whenever you start a unit in our Chem course, you want to make sure you're at the very top of the unit, and I've already clicked on Content and I've clicked on Unit 1 Stoichiometry, and I'm here in the Stoichiometry unit. You can see that there's a due date underneath that. You want to check that in your own course. It may be different from this one if you have a different course instructor. And then, as in all the units, you're just going to want to scroll down and read everything from top to bottom so you don't miss anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the next thing. All units start with learning outcomes, the chapter that is covered in the textbook, and the outcomes that we are covering in this unit. So for stoichiometry, perform and explain stoichiometric calculations, including those with limiting and excess reagents, mass to mass, volumetric, solution stoichiometry. Also perform and explain percent yield calculations. So those are the outcomes for Chapter 8. There's nothing you have to do here. It's just letting you know what we're covering in the unit. So I'm going to just keep on going down. You can click on the study guide to see what the learning activities are for the unit. Every unit also has video resources that are specific to the unit. Now in this unit, there is a general lecture video that you can watch, but there's also other videos that are related to the unit. So for more video resources, click on the above heading. So I'm just going to do that. And then you can see that in this unit, here's the introduction to Unit 1, but then there are a bunch of skill builders that are also part, that are work-throughs for the skill builders that are in your text. So I'm just going to go back to stoichiometry, back to the unit. Many students have suggested that what really helped them at the beginning was to watch the general video before they read their textbook readings, just to help them get in the frame of mind for the unit and to see what sort of things we're focusing on for the unit. And then they go ahead, after they watch this first video, they go ahead and read the unit and then come back to this video again if needed, and then go to other videos, the more nitty-gritty videos as needed. So each unit has these video resources, and of course there's lots of videos on the internet, from Bozeman Science to Khan Academy. YouTube has a bunch as well if you need further videos. Another great resource for the course that involves videos are in the e-textbook itself. So I'm just going to scroll up and go in the content area, and I'm going to go to Mastering Student Links. And then from the list, I'd click on Pearson eText. Now I've already opened that just for time's sake, and I've already gone to Chapter 8 just to show you the video resources that are a part of your e-textbook. So here I'm at 8.2, Making Pancakes, Relationships Between Ingredients, and here is a key concept video prepared by Pearson that you can watch just for another perspective on reaction stoichiometry. Also within the e-textbook at different spots, I know that when I go to 8.4, there is an example question here, or an example equation. There's a conceptual checkpoint that is interactive that you can work with. But then here is this example 8.2 where they bring you through reading it. But what I think is really cool is that right afterwards, they're showing you a worked example where they actually work through the the equation or the problem and talk you through it. So don't forget to also refer to your textbook, your e-textbook, because there are great videos in that are completely focused on what you're learning within the textbook. So that's another great resource as well. So I'm just going to go back to Unit 1. So in conjunction with reading your textbook and watching the videos and also the videos in your e-textbook, sometimes it might be hard to focus on what the really important outcomes are. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more. Every unit has a test study guide page. When you click on that test study guide page, it's going to tell you what the outcomes are that are covered on the test. So you can go ahead and print that off and have that close to you in your study area so that you can refer to that when you're focusing on the readings in the textbook and what you should concentrate on. When you are working on this unit, we do have a discussion assignment called Stoichiometry and Chocolate Chip Cookies. You are going to perform this thought experiment, and then you are going to post to the discussion board in order to submit your assignment, and you're going to respond to a classmate's post. Now, not every unit has a discussion assignment, but there is a discussion assignment in the Stoichiometry unit. Every unit does have a homework assignment in Pearson, and you can click on the links here in blue to get to those activities. The only activity that is worth marks is the Unit 1 homework assignment, and you can go into it as many times as you want, but don't click submit on a question until you're sure that you want to submit that question, or else because you can't go back. So you can go into this homework assignment multiple times and work on it throughout the unit. Just don't hit submit until you're absolutely sure that you're answering the question. The other activities that we see here, the Mastering Chemistry Orientation, the For Practice, and the Adaptive Follow-Up, are extra activities for practice to help you with the unit. If you have taken in-class or online math Chem 1046 before, you probably are already used to the Pearson Chem Lab program, and you don't need to do the orientation, but that's up to you. For practice are a bunch of interactive tutorials based on the Stoichiometry unit, not for marks, and you can kind of pick and choose which ones that you want to look at. And then the adaptive follow-up is what you do after the Unit 1 homework, and it's the questions that you get for the adaptive follow-up are based on any questions that you had weaknesses on. If you can treat this like a pre-quiz for the test, you should be able to understand how to do every question in the homework assignment and have confidence doing those before you move on to the test. The test for this unit is a take-it-home test, so you can do that at home anytime up to and including the day that it's due, which is May 17th. Which brings me to the point of just check to see what your instructor has placed as the due date for your homework assignment. In my course, I have it due a few days before the test, just so that students get this done before the test so that they have enough time to review and work on those outcomes that they are perhaps need a little bit more practice on. The take-it-home test is a 120-minute test. There is scrap paper. You can click on the Unit 1 scrap paper. It provides you with places to do pen and paper answers on, and if you want to submit that to your instructor after the test so that they can have a look at your answers, you can do that via email. You will have a periodic table available and a constants list. And there's a little bit of a word of caution again about not hitting the submit button on a question until you are sure it's the final answer, because once you hit the submit button, you can't change your answer. So make sure you read through all of these instructions, and then when you are ready and you have 120 minutes, 2 hours to do your test, then you just click on this link and it will bring you directly to your test. But you do have to complete the test in one session, not like the homework where you can bounce in and bounce out as you please. So as I scroll to the very bottom, every unit has one of these Q&A discussion things where you can go in and submit your questions. And we instructors really appreciate when students post questions to the Q&A, because it's a great way to share your questions and to share your answers. So the more questions we get here, the better it is. So I wish all of you a wonderful term in Chem 1047. Please reach out to your instructors if you have any questions, and whatever strategies worked for you in Chem 1046, definitely lean on those, and I wish you continued success. Bye for now.